and gentlemen, let's put the spotlight on luxury travel because India's appetite for luxury travel is growing rather fast. And StayVista, the country's largest villa rental platform, is looking like it's riding that wave. While the Mumbai-based company has raised over 40 crores in a Series B round that was led by JSW Ventures. In fact, there was continued support from DSG Consumer Partners and Capri Global. The company says that this fresh capital will help StayVista expand to new geographies and further enhance both customer and host experiences. In fact, with over 1,000 operational villas across 85 plus locations and 1 million guests served till now, StayVista is targeting India's fast-growing holiday home rental market that's currently valued at $2.1 billion. So as domestic travel booms and with it there are so many opportunities that are also coming up, we're now joined by Mr. Amit Damani, who's a co-founder at StayVista, to understand what to make of this ecosystem as of now, the opportunities that lie ahead. But first things first, Amit, let me ask you, how do you plan to allocate this funding that you've recently received across different functions?
Hi, good evening. I think for StayVista, we're the largest villa hospitality brand in India, and we're on this trajectory to continue growing at a rapid pace. Today, we manage over 1,000 villas across the country, and we plan to scale this to over 5,000 properties in the next 3 to 4 years. This should take us to a top line of about 1,000 CR. Now, where will capital be allocated? It'll primarily be allocated for our growth. So we'll continue expanding in the villa segment across India. We see a lot of demand amongst Indian travelers who are constantly taking breaks for getaways nearby their cities, and they love traveling in groups. So that segment is something we'll continue catering to. Other than traveling for leisure, we're looking at expanding in the urban market. We've launched boutique service apartments called Vista Residences over the last couple of months. That's a segment that we're growing for corporate travelers. And lastly, we're also looking at the entire alternative accommodation segment. So other than villas, people are choosing alternatives to hotels where they can get different and unique experiences. So glamping, which is luxury camping, is a segment that we're seeing that's growing. And we've expanded across multiple parts of the country where we're offering luxury camps to guests.
Right, Amit, but speaking about the funding, how will this funding change your competitive positioning in the market, and how are you differentiating yourself from, the many options that are currently available in the market, the many competitors that your company has in the market at present?
Yeah. So StayVista is the market leader in the villa hospitality segment. In terms of just the market share amongst the organized players, we would be holding over 35% of that market share. With respect to differentiation, our core differentiation has always been focused on experiences. What we saw in India was, there are platforms that exist that help in concluding a transaction, in making a booking at any of these properties, but someone needs to take care of the entire brand experience. Just in hotels, you have brands and you have platforms. In the entire villa segment, there was a lack of brand that took care of the entire guest experience. That's been our biggest differentiation, and we'll continue building on that. We have very strong teams on ground that take care of service, that take care of F&B, that take care of any other experiences that a guest might require. A lot of people come to our properties for celebrations, whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, or even weddings taking place. To deliver that end-to-end experience is what we focus on by providing it at these beautiful villas for very intimate outings. So that'll continue being our differentiation, which is focused on guest experience. The second is looking at how we use technology to build very efficient operations. Imagine instead of having a hotel with 100 rooms, we have 100 rooms distributed across 20-25 properties. It requires technology to be able to monitor and track every staff member and every process that needs to be followed, as well as ensuring how we can take care of every guest experience needs. So technology and experience, these two come together to create a new age hospitality brand. That's our differentiation, and that's what we'll keep riding on.
Right, and you do have plans of managing 5,000 villas over the next 3 to 4 years. But let me then ask you, what are the customer segments that you're particularly doubling down on with the kind of investment that you've received, and in terms of what you're looking at planning for the company?
Yeah. So we're growing profitably, and that'll continue happening over the next 3 to 4 years. Our investments will primarily go into in terms of guest experience, what technology can be used that can streamline a lot of processes. AI is at the heart of everything that we're trying to build at the moment. With respect to what are we trying to deliver for our guests? Sorry, could you repeat your question? So I just stick to that point.
Yes, in fact, I was asking about the fact that are you looking at diversifying your customer base, and if you want to also talk about the fact that is there any one particular customer base that you're particularly targeting or looking at focusing on over the next couple of years?
Yeah, so for us, it's primarily group travelers. These are groups that come together. What we've seen in India is that as India is growing and as India is developing, we're moving away from joint families to nuclear families. And then when it comes to travel, what we see is that these nuclear families are coming together with their friends or family to have a joint stay together. So who is our TG? Our TG is primarily between 28 to 40 years old. These are, household income is above 12 lakhs per year. That's our primary TG that we look at, between 12 to 36 lakhs per year as income. These families, these groups are constantly looking for getaways where they reconnect with people they've been very close to, whether it's their colleagues at work, whether it's their friends they're catching up from high school or college. These are the different needs that we see taking place. We'll continue catering to this specific segment.
Right, Amit, you talk about, group travelers, and that's going to be your focus segment. But could you also talk about your financials? You did talk about the fact that you are profitable, but could you, deliberate a bit more on that point and break it down?
Sure. So this year in FY26, we should be hitting close to 250 CR of top line with an EBITDA of about 4%. That's our goal. And we're growing at roughly about 40% year on year. That's the current financial.
Okay. So when you talk about the expansion that you have, you're looking at servicing at least 5,000 hotels or 5,000 villas, if I may correct myself. What gives you that confidence? If you could talk about the current trends that you're looking at in the market, the kind of expansion opportunities, the kind of growth that you're seeing, particularly with respect to the villa and, of course, the travel segment.
Yeah. I think on the supply side, there are over 2 lakh such villas that already exist in the market. And in terms of just what we've catered to so far, right, 1,000 odd properties, we know we can easily scale that to about 5,000 properties in the next 3 to 4 years. There's new supply coming up in these markets. There's 15 to 18% new supply getting added year on year in all these markets that we work in. So there's a lot of room for growth for us when it comes from a supply point of view. From a demand point of view, 50% of travel that happens in India is group travel. So there's very high demand. And generally, they were staying at hotels. What we've seen take place as a shift in consumer behavior over the last 5-6 years is that they want to stay at homes over hotels when it comes to group travel. And we just have to keep catering to that by opening up more and more supply.
Right. And, are there any specific markets or regions that you're looking at catering to? And when you talk about growth, of course, you're looking at young travelers, group travelers, but with specific geographies within India, if you want to talk abroad as well, are kind of getting the growth that really gives you the confidence of serving or rather servicing 5,000 hotels?
So our focus has been to be a home away from home for Indian travelers. Now, when do they go away from their home? It's primarily what we've seen is for short getaways. These getaways will be from your key metro cities. So if I take Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, there are multiple getaways that people go to. From Bombay, people are going to Lonavala, Karjat, Alibag, Nasik as potential places for a getaway. From Delhi, they'll go towards Himachal or Uttarakhand. And these are drivable distances anywhere between 4 to 7 hours that they'll be going to different destinations there. Similarly, for Bangalore as well, when people are looking for getaways, they'll travel roughly 3 to 5 hours to destinations in Karnataka or in Tamil Nadu or in Kerala, such as Wayanad. So these are our core destinations that we focus on. Other than that, we look at it as there are 50 key holiday destinations in India. We have to be in each and every one of them. So we expanded to Kashmir last year. We are in Manali, we're in Alleppey. So whether it's in Kashmir or in Kochi, we're in destinations that people travel to for a holiday. We're expanding pan-India. We're looking at it as each key metro destination. Where do people want to travel to, whether it's in North India, South India, West India, or East India.
Right. Amit, in fact, when you talk about expansion, are there any specific milestones that you're targeting with this funding round?
So for us, I think a big milestone was being profitable. That's something we achieved in FY25. Over the next 3 years, the focus is on how do we continue growing in a very capital efficient manner. We should grow. This year, we should hit about 250 CR. In the next 3 years, we should be at about 600 CR. And in 5 years, our target is to be 1,000 CR. These are the key growth milestones that we have. From a profitability point of view, this year we should do about 4% EBITDA, and we want to grow to about 10% EBITDA in the next 3 years.
Right. And what about an IPO? Would you be looking at an IPO given the fact that there's been a lot of interest from investors on new age companies and, of course, the different business models that they present?
Yeah, and especially I would say in hospitality, it's there have been multiple listings that have taken place. So whether it's in the hotel segment, whether it's in the alternative accommodation segment, there is a lot of growth and robust growth that's taken place in the last couple of years, and it's expected to continue. Indians are traveling constantly. It's become a necessity for them. So this is an area that we definitely see as a large growth area, hospitality as a segment. For us, honestly, the focus is on growing profitably. And if that path takes us to an IPO, well and good. But the focus is on constantly growing it profitably and delivering a great experience. So that's the input. The output could be an IPO, but that's not sort of a focus area today. It's just to continue focusing on our inputs.
Okay, so you will be looking at profitability or continuing with the profitability that you're achieving and, of course, customer experience. But I have to ask you this question, Amit, one final question before we let you go. When you talk about an IPO, because you have not categorically stated that you're not looking at an IPO, but this path that you're currently on, it could perhaps lead to that, that goal being achieved. So any timelines that you've given yourself or you'd be looking at?
So fortunately for us, the way we've run this organization, especially having investors on board, is constantly looking at running it in as a public company. So how do you always prepare for that? You want to start doing it, honestly, from as early as possible. So from that angle, we're always trying to run this in a extremely organized and transparent and professional manner. So whenever that happens, well and good. We hope we can do that in the next 3 to 5 years. But as I shared, that's an output. The input focus is on constantly growing profitability and improving guest experience.
All right. Thank you very much, Amit, on that note for sharing growth prospects for the company. And of course, how you're going to deploy this funding, definitely travel. And of course, the villa, that segment is only going to grow as travel, is getting a lot of people interested. So whether it's group travel or individual travel, there are opportunities galore. Thank you very much once again for taking the time out and speaking to us here on ET Now. Ladies and gentlemen,